Hello everybody, my name is Mika and this is, well, this is a new show that I am trying out called, I don't really have a name for it yet, but I'm basically just going to read Twisted Wonderland fan fiction to y'all and see if that works, because I haven't seen anyone do this idea yet, and I'm quite curious about it. Today I'll be reading fan fiction of my own that I did as a commission. The person was really sweet when they commissioned me, and I had inspiration. They requested Sam. Wait. They requested for Mornings with Sam with a goth cottagecore soulmate, significant other soulmate. I mean, technically it means the same, but like, anyway, let's see if I can get to this already. One might expect someone with such an appearance with darker hues like Sam to not be too fond of mornings. On the contrary, he enjoyed it quite a lot. While his powers certainly grew more powerful during the night, there were just some things that he appreciated much more when the sun reached the horizon, painting the skies different hues that range from red to orange. One of the things he enjoyed most was seeing his dear demon first thing in the morning, the soft heaving of your chest, the light noise coming from your lips, the way you hold onto the pillow. It was such a soothing sight for him to wake to, and after a good night's rest too. After all, business can be quite busy for Sam, being someone meant to sell absolutely everything each student would want or need from him. It's no simple task to get the necessary supplies to achieve this. He's fortunate to have help from his little demons. His dark hand gently stroked your cheek, gazing at you with a tenderness that could rival any lover from an idealized romance movie. How long has it been since you started living with him? Sam could recall it's been a good year now since the beginning you started living with him. It's been an absolute joy to have you with him. There was just something about you that brought joy to the house that made it truly feel more like home. Perhaps it was your smile or your laugh. Such warm and sweet things that could brighten anyone's day, in contrast to the way you dressed. Or maybe it was the fact that you've become family to him that made it feel like home. He did believe in the saying, home is where the heart is, and you, his sweet demon, have taken his heart. A soft chuckle escaped his lips as he reminisced about the memories he spent with you. It made you stir slightly, but the noise wasn't enough to wake you. Who would have thought that the new teacher on campus would turn out to become his new spouse? He could recall when you two would meet for a drink at night and talk about your experiences with the students, and when you needed new clothes, he'd be able to provide the type to fit your specific tastes at a reasonable price. Then a bond between you two strengthened as you spent more and more time with him until you two would get married one day. He remembered how loudly Crowley sobbed and how the rest of the staff would congratulate him. Krill made sure to give a luxurious and over-the-top gift, causing Shane to bicker with him on how he didn't need to be such a show-off, and that the gift wasn't practical to begin with. Meanwhile, Vargas was delighted to see that they were serving raw eggs during the wedding reception. How typical of them. It was truly the best day of his life, especially now that it meant that he'd spend the rest of his days with you. When your eyes finally fluttered open, a smile graced his lips as he watched you yawn. He moved his hands to allow you to get up and stretch for a moment. "Morning, little imp. You ready to have breakfast?" he asked you while the two of you got dressed for the day, wearing the usual outfit. A black cottage court dress, black boots, a blood red ribbon, and a vintage watch. You nodded and smiled at him when his hands weaved through your hair to place the ribbon around your head and tied it to perfection. The two of you got to the kitchen and started to make breakfast together. You brought out the ingredients while Sam prepared the deep fryer bowls and other materials needed to cook. While you beat the eggs in a bowl, Sam mixed yeast, warm water, and sugar. You placed in a little bit of vanilla extract and evaporated milk and mixed it in the bowl until it was smooth. As the two of you prepared breakfast, you spoke with him. Sam looked at you with a small grin. "I heard from a little demon that there's two new students in NRC. Any thoughts on them so far?" he asked as Magenta Eyes watched the mixer. When it finished, he started cooking it in the fryer. "The cat is definitely a troublemaker," you chuckled. "I didn't know what to make of the magicless student. It's hard to get a read on their personality for now, but so far they seem smart. I'm sure they can survive just fine here." He chuckled. "Insightful as ever, my darling little demon." When the big nits... I realize I don't know what to... When the big nits finished cooking, you showered them in a generous amount of powdered sugar and prepared them on a dish, placing them on a table. The two of you sat down to eat. The big nits tasted marvelous. You thought this as you chewed on one, humming in delight. Sam rested his chin on his palm as he watched you eating one of his own. You never failed to be adorable to him, huh? Not that he was complaining. It was one of the many joys in the morning. You becoming part of his life would never stop being an absolute blessing for him, and he knew you felt the same way. His magenta eyes glancing at your intertwined hands, wedding rings glancing in the morning sun. Once you two were done eating breakfast, you went to the campus with him, traveling through the mirrors. When you got there, you helped him with supply checks, wanting to make sure that things would run smoothly for the day. After that, he gave you a chaste kiss and bid you farewell as you made your way to the classroom. He watched you leave with the same gaze from when he was in bed with you, holding the same tenderness within them. What a wonderful time to be alive. Anyway, thank you for listening to me. That is the first part of this series, and I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below if you want to hear more. Goodbye and thank you.